The Magic Stag. There were once a brother and sister who loved each other dearly. Their parents were dead. When they were very young, their mother had died and their father was ill. Before their father died, he married again. But their stepmother was most unkind and cruel to them. One day, the boy said to the sister,
"Dear little sister, our stepmother gives us dry, hard bread crusts for dinner and supper and threatens to kick us out of the house. Let's run away and see what the world is like."
So they went out and wandered here and there till evening. At the end of the day, they were in a large forest. It began to rain. They were tired and hungry and sad. They crept into a hollow tree and slept till morning. When they awoke, they left their place of shelter and wandered away in search of water.
"Oh, I'm so thirsty."
If we could only find a brook or a stream.
"Listen, I think I hear a running stream."
So he took his sister by the hand, and they ran together to find it. Now the stepmother of these children was a wicked witch. She had followed them into the night and bewitched all the springs and streams in the forest. Brother and sister reached the brook, and the sister heard the babbling of the brook.
"Whoever drinks of me, a tiger soon will be."
Whoa! Brother, wait! Do not drink, or you will become a wild beast and tear me to pieces.
Thirsty as he was, the brother conquered his desire to drink at her words, and said,
"Dear sister, I will wait till we come to a spring."
So they wandered farther, but as they approached, she again heard the bubbling of a spring.
"Who drinks of me, a wolf will be."
Brother, I pray you do not drink of this spring. You will be changed into a wolf and devour me.
Again, the brother denied himself and promised to wait. But he said,
"At the next stream, I must drink. My thirst is so great."
Not far off ran a pretty streamlet, but here also in the murmuring waters, the sister heard the words,
Who dares to drink of me, turn to a stag will be."
Dear brother, do not drink.
she began. But she was too late, for her brother had already knelt to drink, and he became a fawn. But he did not run away, and stayed close to her. So she said,
Stand still, dear fawn. Don't fear. I must take care of you. I will never leave you.
So she untied her golden garter and fastened it around the neck of the fawn. Then she gathered some soft green rushes and braided them into a soft string, which she fastened to the fawn's golden collar, and then led him away into the depths of the forest. After wandering about for some time, she at last found a little abandoned hut, and she thought it would form a nice shelter for them both. So she led the fawn in and closed the door. Every morning, she went out to gather berries for her own and fresh grass for the fawn, which he ate out of her hand, and then he went out with her and played. After they had been alone in the forest for years, the little sister had grown into a lovely maiden, and the fawn a large stag. Once a prince came to the forest with his hunting party. The sounding horn, the barking of the dogs, the yelling of the huntsmen resounded through the forest and was heard by the stag. He begged his sister to let him go to see. She opened the door and said,
I will let you go, but do not forget to say, Dear sister, let me in, when you return this evening.
The chief hunter very soon spied the beautiful stag with the golden collar, pointed it out to the prince, and they determined to hunt it. They chased him with all their skill, but he was too light and nimble for them to catch. And, after the huntsmen were gone, he walked home. But one of the prince's huntsmen, however, determined to follow him at a distance to find out where he went. The huntsman was very surprised to see the stag go up to a door and knock and hear him speak.
Dear sister, let me in.
The door was only opened a little way and quickly shut, but the huntsman had seen enough to amaze him, and when he returned to tell the prince what he had seen, the prince was amazed too.
We will have to discover this mystery.
The next morning, the huntsman led the prince to the cottage. When the prince saw it, he went on alone. The door was ajar. The king stepped in, and in great astonishment saw a maiden more beautiful than he had ever seen standing before him. She looked frightened. After a little talk, he held her hand and said,
Will you go with me to my castle and be my dear wife?
Yes, I would go willingly, but I cannot leave my dear stag. He must go with me.
He shall remain with you as long as you live.
While they were talking, the stag rose up, looking happy. Soon after, their marriage was celebrated with great splendor. The wicked stepmother who had caused these two young people such misery heard of their happiness. Envy and malice arose in her heart, and she has sworn to destroy them. She disguised herself as a nurse and came to the castle when the queen had a baby, and the prince hired her to take care of the queen and newborn. She locked the queen up in the bathroom and picked a baby from his cradle to throw him out of queen's balcony. But then the stag came to rescue, and he saved his nephew. The king came into the queen's chambers, and he saw that the stag was protecting the baby from the nurse, and the queen recognized her as the witch stepmother. She told the king how cruelly she had been treated by her stepmother, and so the king sent her to the prison. The stepmother realized her mistake, and so she broke the spell, which held the queen's brother in the form of a stag. He appeared before them, a tall, handsome young man. After this, everyone lived happily and peacefully for the rest of their lives. The end. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get future updates. And don't forget to comment.